Hello, everybody. We're back with Common Sense. We're talking about the coronavirus with Dr. Peter Hotez from Baylor College of Medicine. Dr. Hotez, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Let's talk about immunity and vaccines a little bit, because I know that's an area that you study very intently. The World Health Organization came out a week or so ago and sort of questioned whether someone would have immunity if they had the disease and developed antibodies. Some people like Dr. Fauci pushed back on that. Then the World Health Organization seemed to sort of backtrack on their comments a little bit. Can you tell us, if somebody gets sick and gets the antibodies, are they going to be immune? Are they going to have some level of protection?
I think what happened there, I'm not sure the WHO really came out and said there's no immunity. I think what happened was they just didn't feel comfortable yet issuing what they called immunity certificates, like they do sometimes with yellow fever and others. And maybe it was interpreted a little bit incorrectly. I mean, I think what happens with COVID-19 is probably similar to what happened with the first SARS epidemic back in 2003, a related virus, where people get infected, they get exposed to the virus, they develop an immune response and antibodies. And most of the time, those individuals are resistant to reinfection, at least for a period of years, until the antibody titers start to decline. And what that period of time is still a bit unknown. Probably between 2 and 10 years, you have that immunity, and maybe longer. And I think probably the same thing happens with COVID-19. And the reason we say that is there's been now some experimental studies in rhesus macaques, non-human primates, showing that if you give them COVID-19, they develop an antibody response, and then you can no longer reinfect them. So we don't know for certain, but there's a likelihood that antibody does confer protection. I think there is going to be a subset of people that with either low-grade symptoms or no symptoms may not get a vigorous antibody response, and they potentially could be subjected to reinfection. But I think for the majority of people, it's going to be the situation: you get infected, you develop an antibody, and then you're protected against reinfection. But we'll see over the coming weeks and months.
I mean, doctor, are there viruses for which we do not develop immunity? Does that happen in the natural world?
Well, it certainly happens to some extent with HIV/AIDS, right? And that's why it's been so problematic, because you get infected with the virus, and then you carry the virus typically for your whole life, and you don't develop immunity. But for most respiratory viruses, it's the case where you do develop immunity, and I think this will probably fall under that category.